Libra darling, what if today isn't just another day, but the day everything starts to shift for you financially? This is your sacred message, and it's coming straight from the heart of the universe. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot. I'm honored to walk this path with you, and I want you to know if you're hearing this now, it's not random. You're here because your soul was summoned. Today, November 15th, 2025, is a turning point for you, and the energy is undeniably building. There is a powerful vibration moving through your chart, one that signals unexpected financial movement, divine realignment, and blessings you didn't even dare to ask for. Something extraordinary is unfolding. But let's be clear, this isn't just a feel-good horoscope. This is a cosmic warning wrapped in grace. A wave of abundance may be approaching, but only if you're willing to open the door. Libra, you've always been the harmonizer, the one who holds balance in a chaotic world. But tell me truthfully, how often have you been the one balancing others while suppressing your own desire to receive? How many times have you quietly declined help, feeling more comfortable giving than accepting? The universe is asking you to flip that story now. Because today isn't about staying safe. Today is about saying, I am ready to receive. And if a part of you feels nervous about what that might look like, good. That means you're close. You're standing at the threshold of expansion, and all you have to do is step through it. Now, if you've been seeing repeating numbers 111, 444, 777 or noticing strange timing, this is no coincidence. Those are divine breadcrumbs. You've been prepared for this. And let me say this from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for being here. For every like, every comment, every moment you've chosen to stay and open your heart to the messages that come through this channel, you are the reason Zodiac Whisper Tarot exists. Your energy fuels everything we do here. Your presence matters deeply. And it is felt. Please, if this message resonates with you, if your spirit feels even the slightest pull, take a second and leave a comment below. Let me know you're here. Let me know what number has been following you. Or simply write, I am ready to receive, and let that declaration echo through the universe. This isn't just engagement. It's spiritual alignment. And believe me, Libra, you'll want to stay with me until the very end of this video. Because what the universe is revealing today is nothing short of unbelievable. What's coming isn't luck. It's legacy. And it has your name on it. So now I turn the question to you, my Libra soul family. What energy brought you here today? Was it a dream? A moment of stillness? Or a quiet prayer you whispered last night before falling asleep? Whatever it was, you've arrived. You're right on time. Let's begin. When cosmic timing meets personal readiness, transformation is no longer just a possibility, it becomes a divine inevitability. And today, Libra, as the moon gently passes through Pisces and illuminates your second house, something subtle but undeniably powerful begins to stir within and around you. This particular house governs not only material wealth but also your relationship with self-worth, your emotional relationship to receiving, and the foundational belief systems you've carried about money and security, many of which were shaped long before you even realized. The energy of Pisces softens the edges of this house. It asks you not to chase wealth, but to merge with the frequency of abundance. And in true Pisces fashion, that frequency often whispers before it roars. It might begin as a feeling an unexplainable pull to revisit an old project, a nudge to reach out to someone from your past, or a dream that lingers a little too vividly. Don't dismiss these gentle cues. In astrology, the moon governs the emotional body, and Pisces, being a water sign, moves not through logic but through intuitive flow. So if you feel something today that you can't quite put into words, trust it. That is the opening. At the same time, your ruling planet Venus forms a rare and beautiful trine with expansive Jupiter, now resting in steady, grounded Taurus. This alignment is the astrological equivalent of a golden doorway swinging wide open. Venus represents value, love, beauty and yes, money. Jupiter represents growth, opportunity, and divine timing. Together, they create a harmonious wave of potential that flows directly into your material realm. But it's important to remember, this energy doesn't shout. It invites. It doesn't push. It presents. Whether or not you receive it depends not on luck, but on your alignment with the belief that you are worthy of receiving more. This is where we return to that quietly provocative question: are you allowing yourself to truly be wealthy? Tarot echoes this cosmic alignment in almost poetic synchronicity. The Ace of Pentacles appears like a sacred seed planted in freshly turned earth. It is a gift, but one that must be nurtured, not overlooked. The Empress follows, reminding you that abundance is not just about numbers or status. It is about allowing life to move through you in creation, flow, and joy. She is the embodiment of receiving and giving, the cycle of prosperity made real through lived experience. And then comes the Wheel of Fortune. This is the moment where free will and fate meet. Not everything that happens today will be within your control, but your response will be. Will you say yes to the opportunity? Will you choose expansion even if it scares you? Will you speak belief where your fear once lived? In the practice of daily surrender, many people of faith believe that what is meant for them will never miss them. They speak not with desperation, but with assurance that what is good and true will always find a way. And maybe, just maybe, what's arriving in your life today isn't random at all. Maybe it's the answer to that one quiet prayer you whispered in traffic. Maybe it's the response to that tearful journal entry you wrote 6 months ago. Sometimes miracles don't come with lightning and trumpets. Sometimes they arrive disguised as ordinary moments with extraordinary consequences. So today, let yourself feel the power of being available. Available to receive. Available to believe. Available to be surprised. There is no rush. The wheel is turning at its own divine pace. Your only task is to show up, to be awakito, be willing. Ask yourself, not with fear, but with quiet boldness, what would change in my life if I truly believed that abundance wasn't just possible but already on its way to me? And let your life begin to answer that question, one aligned decision at a time. Sometimes the signs are subtly an unexpected phone call, a message that shows up at just the right time, or an idea you scribbled in passing that suddenly returns with more weight than before. These aren't coincidences. They are invitations. In the realm of energetic alignment and cosmic movement, timing is everything. And right now, Libra, you're being asked not just to witness opportunity, but to prepare yourself to receive it fully. This is not about luck, and it's not about pushing or chasing. It's about being open, grounded, and vibrationally available to what is already forming in your field. What makes this moment particularly significant is that the frequency of receiving isn't intellectual, it's emotional. It's embedded in your beliefs about your worth, your capacity, and your readiness. One of the most common blocks to abundance isn't lack of opportunity. It's the internal voice that says, I don't want to be a burden, or I shouldn't need help, or I'm not ready yet. These thoughts often feel humble, but in truth, they quietly reject the gifts that are trying to find their way to you. You don't have to earn them through struggle. You only have to recognize that you are already worthy. When clients come to me for intuitive guidance or financial clarity, the shift always begins with one question. Do you truly believe you're allowed to be supported? More often than not, the answer is hesitant. Yet time and again, I've seen lives transform not when people force outcomes but when they release resistance to being chosen, blessed, or lifted. Just like a flower doesn't bloom because it strives, but because it's rooted in fertile ground and knows its time. Receiving is a state of being, not a strategy. And this applies to all the forms abundance may take right now. A settlement, an old debt being repaid, a long-awaited job offer, or an investor who sees your vision before the world does. Even a simple gift or compliment can be the seed of something larger, if you're open to it. But if you've been trained to politely decline, to downplay your needs, or to appear self-sufficient at all costs, then this is the energetic pattern you are being called to gently rewrite. There's a verse I hold close in busy seasons of life, when I'm tempted to over-control or overcompensate. Sometimes the miracle is not in what we make happen but in what we allow to happen. This truth can be applied here. Allowing doesn't mean inaction. It means cooperating with divine timing and affirming with your energy, I am available. I am receptive. I am willing. The miracle isn't that the door appears. The miracle is that when it does, you trust yourself enough to walk through it. If someone offers to help you today emotionally, financially, practically pause before you default to, I'm okay. Ask yourself, is this support part of the abundance I've been praying for? Because very often, blessings come in the form of people. In the real-life stories I've encountered, some of the most life-changing financial breakthroughs happen not through a windfall, but through a person who stepped in at the right moment with belief, clarity, or resources. So let this moment be a practice in receiving. Let this be the day you no longer shrink from generosity. Let this be the energy that says, I am not here to struggle quietly. I am here to live abundantly with grace, gratitude, and openness. You've carried so much for so long. Now is the time to let the universe carry something back to you. There's something deeply ingrained in many Libra souls, the desire to create peace for others, even when it comes at the cost of your own well-being. This is your gift, your beauty, your offering to the world. But sometimes, that same instinct to keep the scales balanced outwardly can lead to an inner imbalance. You become the one who gives, the one who smooths the edges, the one who absorbs rather than asks. And over time, whether through experience or inherited beliefs, you may have picked up a subtle but limiting idea, that wealth, when it's personal, when it's fully yours, might somehow be selfish. It's such a quiet belief that it rarely shouts. It whispers through hesitation when you price your work, through guilt when you indulge in something purely for yourself, or through discomfort when someone praises your success. But here's the truth that today's energy is trying to return to you. Wealth is not a sign of greed, it is a reflection of alignment. And when wealth flows to a heart like yours, one that seeks fairness and harmony, it becomes a tool for healing, expansion, and generosity. When we look at the energy of the cards surrounding you today, especially the progression from the Five of Pentacles to Justice, to the Queen of Swords, and finally to the Ace of Pentacles, we're witnessing a sacred correction. The Five of Pentacles often shows us where we've been excluded, where we've believed ourselves to be forgotten or passed over, especially when it comes to material support. This card isn't just about money, it's about the emotion of lack. It's about feeling like the universe skipped you when it was handing out blessings. But that's not where the story ends. The appearance of Justice, the card ruled by your very own sign, Libra, brings with it a rebalancing. A returning. A divine yes to all the quiet, please prayers you've whispered when no one was watching. The Queen of Swords, with her clarity and wisdom, reminds you that discernment is a strength, not a wall. She teaches you to separate truth from assumption, and to ask, whose voice told me I shouldn't want more? Was it truly mine? Or someone else's fear passed down to me? And finally, the Ace of Pentacles. A new beginning. A golden seed. This is not a windfall you stumble upon by accident. This is a direct response to your inner work. To the silent perseverance. To the nights you kept showing up with grace, even when it was hard. This card does not scream with urgency, it hums with quiet promise. It says, yes, now it is your time. Yes, this is your harvest. So here's a gentle but powerful practice to begin reprogramming your relationship with wealth. Think back to the messages about money you heard as a child. Were they rooted in fear? Shame? Scarcity? Write them down. Then ask yourself, are those ideas still serving me, or are they keeping me small? One by one, rewrite those beliefs with truth. Instead of money changes people, write, money amplifies who I already am, and I am kind, generous, and wise. Instead of, there's never enough, write, there is always more than enough when I believe I am enough. In a busy world that constantly asks you to give, remember this, receiving is also an act of service. Because when you receive fully, you model a different kind of wealth. One that's grounded, conscious, and inclusive. And whether you believe in divine timing or simply the rhythm of life, the shift happening in your chart today is unmistakable. It's not loud, but it is profound. You don't have to chase it. You just have to stop running from it. Let yourself be the one who receives this time. Let this be the moment you choose abundance without apology. You are not taking from anyone. You are simply saying yes to what has been yours all along. When we talk about abundance, we often think of money, opportunity, or material comfort. But there is another kind of abundance, quieter, deeper, and perhaps even more transformative, the abundance of emotional connection, of intimacy, of love freely given and consciously received. Libra, with your innate desire for harmony and balance, love has always been sacred to you. But just like money, love also carries an energy of exchange. And the balance between giving and receiving, especially in relationships, is a mirror to how you feel about your own worth. Today, the invitation isn't just to reflect on how much you give in love, but how open you truly are to receiving it. It's easy, especially for someone as thoughtful as you, to slip into the role of caretaker, peacekeeper, or silent supporter. But real connection can't thrive when one person is always pouring while the other only receives. Whether you're partnered or single, this is a season that asks you to look at love not as performance or sacrifice but as shared presence. Shared vision. Shared vulnerability. If you're in a relationship, now is the time to bring the deeper conversations to the surface, not just the practical, what's next, but the emotional, how do we truly feel safe with each other? It's not just about merging lives, it's about co-creating a foundation of trust where both of you feel secure in your roles, especially around resources, future goals, and emotional needs. This might mean addressing topics that have felt delicate or even avoided: money, expectations, long-term plans, but doing so with a sense of curiosity instead of fear. Sometimes the most stabilizing act in a relationship isn't a grand gesture, it's simply sitting across from each other and telling the truth kindly. And if you're single, there's something else coming into focus. The Empress card reminds us that when we align with our natural rhythm, when we step into our worth without waiting for validation, we begin to attract those who see us clearly, who don't love us for our image, but for our essence. Right now, your energy is magnetic. Someone who has done their own inner work, someone grounded and emotionally mature, may already be watching from afar, not out of fantasy, but with real interest. The question isn't whether they'll show up. It's whether you'll let them in when they do. There's a gentle story I once heard from a woman who had gone through years of being the strong one in every relationship. It wasn't until she sat quietly one evening and whispered, "I want to be held too," that everything began to change. That one honest prayer, spoken not to anyone in particular, but to the unseen forces that surround us, set into motion a chain of moments where love began to show up differently. Not louder, but truer. More whole. It started with her choosing to allow. And that's what this part of your journey is about. Choosing to allow. Allow love to support you. Allow someone to meet you where you are, not above you, not behind you, but beside you. Allow your needs to be visible. Because they are sacred too. We're often taught that strength is self-containment, but I've found that the most courageous people are the ones who say, "I'm ready to share this life, not just my best parts, but the parts that still ache, the parts that still long to be seen." Let this be your reminder that you are not just here to give balance to others, but to experience it fully within yourself. Real love, whether romantic, familial, or even within friendship, is not built on performance. It's built on presence. Show up honestly. Ask for what you need. And when it arrives, don't question it, receive it with the same grace you've always offered others. Because you, Libra, are worthy of a love that flows both ways. It's easy to forget how closely our emotional and energetic states are woven into the fabric of our physical bodies. But for Libran air sign that thrives on balance, clarity, and connection, the body often carries the weight of the unseen. Stress doesn't always show up in loud, obvious ways. Sometimes it hides in your digestion, in the tightness of your jaw, or in that restless feeling that keeps you awake just a little longer than you'd like. Especially when it comes to financial stress or emotional uncertainty, your body becomes the quiet messenger for what your mind might be trying to override. The truth is, energy doesn't just live in the abstract. It lives in the cells. And when you've been overthinking, under-receiving, or emotionally holding everything together for too long, your nervous system starts to internalize the tension. You might feel this as a heaviness in your chest when you try to speak your truth, or a flutter in your stomach when someone offers you help that you don't feel worthy of accepting. These are not flaws. They are signals, and your body, in its infinite wisdom, is asking to be heard. Today, especially as the energy surrounding you continues to open doors in your material and emotional life, your physical body needs just as much support as your spiritual one. The soft rituals matter. A warm drink with lemon and honey isn't just hydration, it's grounding. It soothes the throat chakra, helping you express your value without fear or apology. When you choose clothing in peach or soft orange tones, you're not just selecting a color, you're consciously activating your sacral energy, the space within you that governs creativity, pleasure, and your relationship to receiving. These are not small gestures. These are reminders to your subconscious that you are safe, that you are home. Food, too, becomes medicine when approached with presence. Libra energy often forgets to eat slowly, especially when the mind is racing. But the very act of chewing with awareness, of choosing warm, nourishing meals rich in natural elements, lentils, sweet potatoes, whole grains, becomes an act of reconnection. Each bite says, I choose to stay. I choose to care for myself. This is where healing truly begins, not in the extreme, but in the everyday. There's something sacred in the simplicity of giving your body what it needs without punishing it for the way it speaks. I once knew a woman who spent years battling fatigue, only to realize it wasn't a medical issue, it was emotional depletion. She had been carrying her entire family, business, and household without ever asking for help. It wasn't until she began listening, really listening to her body, that she understood her exhaustion was a sacred whisper. Slow down, receive, breathe. And when she did, things changed, not overnight, but deeply. Not just in her physical energy, but in the way life began meeting her halfway. When she stopped overperforming, others stepped in. When she rested, clarity came. That is the miracle of surrender, not giving up, but letting go of the idea that you have to hold everything alone. You're not meant to. You never were. So if you find yourself overwhelmed, tired, or on edge today, take a breath, not just a quick inhale, but a breath with intention. Imagine that breath moving through every part of you that's been holding on too tightly. And as you exhale, remind yourself that you're not behind, you're not failing, you're simply realigning. Your body is your ally, not your obstacle. And by taking care of it, you open the very channels that abundance and peace need in order to find you. Let today be a day of softness. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to know that healing begins with allowing. And this, Libra, is the most powerful act of all. Libra love, if you've made it to this point in the message, then somewhere deep inside, you already know the truth. Something is shifting. Maybe you can't explain it yet. Maybe it hasn't shown up in your bank account or your outer world. But in your energy field, in your heart, in your quiet thoughts, it's already begun. And you're not imagining it. You're sensing the invitation. An opening. A soft but powerful nudge from the universe, gently asking, are you finally ready to say yes? This isn't about promises of overnight wealth or fairy tale endings. It's about your willingness to receive what has always been yours. Because you, Libra, have spent so long giving. So long balancing. So long making sure everyone else had what they needed. And now, the scales are tilting back toward you. But abundance doesn't crash through the door. It waits to be let in. And the only way that happens is if you choose to believe you're ready, not someday, not when everything is perfect, but now. Let me ask you something that only your heart can answer. If an opportunity showed up for you today, something unexpected, generous, maybe even a little intimidating, would you say yes to it? Or would you second guess yourself? Shrink back. Push it away because you felt it was too good to be true. What would it look like if you trusted yourself enough to receive fully, without apology? The reason I ask is because the door is already open. The energy is already flowing. But only you can step through. No one else can do that part for you. And that's not a threat, it's a quiet gift of power. The same kind of power that lives in choice. In alignment. In knowing your worth and daring to act on it. So here's your moment. If something in today's reading touched a place in you that has long been silent, if you felt a shift, even just a flicker, I invite you to say it out loud. Or better yet, write it below in the comments as a public, energetic declaration. I am ready to receive my abundance. Let that sentence ripple outward. Let it be your agreement with the divine timing that's unfolding right now. And while you're there, I'd love to hear from you. What spoke to you today? What part of this message felt like it was written just for you? Your words might be the light that someone else needs to see. This is how community begins, not just in listening, but in sharing what we've heard. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for your energy, your presence, your open heart. Every like, every comment, every time you subscribe to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, you deepen this sacred circle. We're building one that honors healing, truth, and divine timing. You are not just supporting a channel. You are co-creating a space where real transformation begins. And so I'll say it once more, not as prediction, but as confirmation. You are worthy. You are seen. You are supported. And yes, your abundance is coming. Stay with me. Keep showing up for yourself. And when the next whisper arrives, you'll be exactly where you need to be.